Hey, what's going on, everybody? Je suis Mang, and for this board manging, I'm going to be taking a look at my top 10 board games of all time. If you've been following this series, you'll probably realize that this is kind of a bit premature, as I haven't been, majorly board gaming for that long of a time, like August, September of 2014, something like that. So it hasn't been that long, but I wanted to kind of set like a baseline because I'm planning on doing this top 10 every January from now on. And so we'll kind of get to see how this list changes, what sticks around and really stands the test of time, and what gets thrown off the list as I play more and more board games. So keep that in mind. Some of these games that I'm going to be talking about, I've only played maybe, a few times. But they've impacted me enough that I'm like, wow, I really like that, Whereas, I do own 80 games at this point, and so a bunch of the ones that I've played, I did not even consider for a top 10 list. So already I'm kind of setting for myself what I really like and what I dislike, so this is a good baseline. Alright, so we'll start off with an honorable mention, which is Coup. This is a bluffing card game for 2 to 6 players. With the expansion, you can go up to 10, I think. I don't recommend that. This gets an honorable mention because I think this is the game out of any in my collection that I've played more than anything else. Partly because it just, it's quick, it's simple enough, but there's enough complexity there to keep it interesting, and it just kind of works as far as game design goes. And so, Coup is fallen off a little bit in our group because, actually, I think because of kind of a disastrous game involving the expansion and too many people and the loyalty rules, and it just dragged on. It overstayed its welcome, so we've kind of cooled on it a little bit since then. But I still think Coup is a game that I don't plan on removing from my collection anytime soon. Another game I was considering was Skull, and I didn't give that an honorable mention because I think Coup offers a bit more complexity that some groups are looking for, and so that gives Coup the honorable mention. But okay, number 10 goes to One Night Ultimate Werewolf. This is a kind of a recent, almost a retelling, I guess, of the classic werewolf/mafia games. And really, this game holds little similarity to those types of games. This is a very quick, very short, very easy to understand, but offering a lot of different experiences, bluffing game for 3 to 10 players. And in One Night Ultimate Werewolf, basically everybody gets a different role that only they know. And it goes through one night in which some of the roles get to kind of mess things up and mess things around and change things up, cause chaos. Some people just kind of have to sit there through the night and hope that nothing horrible happens. And then in the morning, everybody tries to figure things out. Figure out what happened, who's the werewolves, who's not a werewolf, what happened during the night. You may have started out as just a villager. You may end up as, a werewolf. You may have vice versa. You may no longer be a werewolf. And so there's a lot of bluffing, and there's a lot of... Really, it's almost kind of like sitting there, trying to say as little as possible, and then hoping somebody else makes a crucial mistake. That's kind of what it is. But with the variety of roles, especially with the new Daybreak expansion that just came out or is coming out, there's really, you can play this all night, and you're unlikely to have the same experience twice. So, a lot of fun, great little bluffing game, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Number 10. Number 9, a bit more of a beefier bluffing game, if you really want to step it up, is Battlestar Galactica. Fantastic game. Really kind of the big daddy of hidden trader games. Not exactly a simple game, not a lightweight game of any sort. This one is really when you're sitting down for a few hours and you just really want to hate your friends and accuse them over and over of being horrible Cylon bastards. Battlestar Galactica is kind of an interesting thing. coming from, you know, coming from like a video game world where movie and TV tie-ins are generally looked upon with scorn and disdain, and there's no way that can be any good. It's based on a TV show. Coming from there and then moving over to the board game world, where it's like Battlestar Galactica is one of the top-rated games. What? It was really kind of a weird thing. I was like, how does that work? But Battlestar Galactica excels because it really captures the feeling of the show. And if you've never seen the show Battlestar Galactica, the new version, go watch it, first of all. But second of all, it's a show basically about, you know, it's a sci-fi show that doesn't really care too much about the sci-fi aspect, but it's a show about mankind's survival against these robots named Cylons that are basically seeking to finish the job and wipe out humanity, more or less. And the Cylons have engineered themselves in that they can look exactly like humans. And so, your buddy might be a Cylon. You don't know. They might not even know they're a Cylon. Interesting. And there's a lot of just drama and intrigue and paranoia and mystery and wild accusations and tension, and this game captures that incredibly well. So like I said, it's not really a lightweight hidden trader game. It's the big daddy of them, I guess you'd say. So if you're looking to kind of cut your teeth on the hidden trader genre, you probably want to look at something like Shadows over Camelot or The Resistance, something like that, just to kind of get the feel of it. But once you're ready to graduate, there's nothing better than Battlestar Galactica. Number 9. Number 8, keeping with the sci-fi theme, is Star Wars The X-Wing Miniatures game. So, miniatures gaming, if you've never experienced it or heard of it, is kind of almost like an offshoot of board gaming. It's a unique thing. There's not really a board involved at all. It's a tabletop game, and pretty much any surface that you can find can be the tabletop to play some miniatures games on it. And the X-Wing game really is another one that captures the feel of it very well, the theme of it, you know, where when you're overlooking this I mean, we have a big round table in which we play it on, and you're just overlooking this field, and you feel like an admiral that's looking over the giant map of the space system, and you're moving the pieces around, and you're like, oh man, oh, he's coming in from my right, he's flanking, and oh, Luke, get out of there, and it's really incredible for the tension. You put on like the dogfighting music from Star Wars in the background, and man, you are right there, you are pumped, and it just, oh, Star Wars, that's what it feels like. And the gameplay mechanics are relatively simple, but it feels great, is what it is. And I put out a board manging, the first board manging, I don't think it was even called that then, for X-Wing. You can look that up to kind of get you a general feel of how it plays. I guess I would say the main problem with games like this, is X-Wing especially, is kind of the cost. This right here, the base set, not too costly. But then once you play it, it's like, damn, I want everything else. I must buy it all. And so the price can really quickly ratchet up. So it's, I guess, don't look into it unless you have no pity on your bank account. Alright, so that is number 8, the X-Wing Miniatures game. Alright, completely switching off the sci-fi theme. Number 7 is Mage Knight. One of a few Vlado Clavato games that I own. Mage Knight is unique for this list in that it's the only game... No, it's not. But it's one of 2 games that I would only play by myself, really. I guess I would play this with other people. It's just kind of... as far as gamers games go, this is almost uncomparable in my collection. One other game might surpass this. And it offers an experience that only a true gamer's game can offer, immensely complicated. Like, you will forget rules constantly and be constantly checking through the rule book. Like, oh, you have to do this and this and this. But the experience and the gameplay that this offers is almost unparalleled, especially coming from the video game world. And, you know, video games they excel at single-player experiences, you know. Plenty of RPGs that I've spent many hours on, but there's just something different about sitting down and playing Mage Knight by yourself and just sprawling out this map as you explore it. And you start out as just this lowly knight that can barely take on, you know, a simple orc, but then you grow and you grow in power, and you see your power expand as you explore this world and you discover it, and you discover much fouler creatures and dragons and minotaurs and all sorts of stuff, and you just feel like such a growing badass, you know. And it really is, there's nothing else like it in my collection, you know. And yeah, it's expensive, and yeah, it's incredibly complicated. It's going to take you a few hours just to learn the basics of how to play, but once you do, it's unparalleled. So, Vlaada Kavadel's Mage Knight, number 7. Number 6, going back to involving a few more people, is Eldritch Horror. Yes, Eldritch Horror. So this is kind of the retelling, the remaking, the reimagining, whatever, the updating of Arkham Horror, which was more or less my first foray into modern board gaming. And Eldritch Horror streamlined a lot of things that Arkham Horror kind of got wrong or confusing. Eldritch Horror is a lot simpler to play, a lot simpler to understand, and it doesn't oversimplify it, because the game itself, I think, benefits greatly from the streamlining. And so, Eldritch Horror is for 1 to 8 people, and I don't think I'd ever play with 8, but you could. And it's kind of a globe-trotting adventure of mystery and conquest over the horribleness that perhaps lurks out there in the cosmos. And I think part of my love for Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror is also because of my love for the Lovecraftian universe, the mythos and stuff like that. And so that translates really well to these two board games. And so I love both of them, but I put Eldritch here instead of Arkham because of the streamlining. Because if I had to choose between the two to sit down and play with a group of people, I'm probably reaching for Eldritch Horror, especially now that expansions are starting to come out for Eldritch. The recent Mountains of Madness just came out. I haven't gotten a chance to play with that yet, but probably soon, and I hear it makes a good game even better. So, number 6, Eldritch Horror. Okay, top 5 now. Pay attention. Number 5 goes, of course, to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Okay, kind of a relatively unknown game until very recently when Shut Up and Sit Down put out a video reviewing it, and that is where I heard about it. And this is... calling it a board game is really more of a stretch than probably anything else on my list here. It's really kind of a... I think I said before, it's like an experience, you know. And I've put out 2 videos about this game so far of me going through the cases, and it's a deduction game in the truest sense of the word. You are a detective. Much like the video game L.A. Noire, it really just puts you in the shoes of an investigator trying to solve crimes. But this game far excels where L.A. Noire did not. Where you really just need to use your deductive abilities, your reasoning, your thought processes, every, you know, cerebral ability you possess in order to figure out these crimes. And it wraps it up in such an enjoyable presentation that it really is something to just be savored, you know. So far I've only played them by myself, and I haven't been doing that great. But I think if you have, a significant other or, a good buddy that also really enjoys the theme and the idea of solving crimes using your own mental capacities, I don't know if there is a better way to spend an evening. So, really incredible experience. I'm hoping that now, since it's kind of picking up steam because of those two guys, or really because of that one guy, Shut Up and Sit Down, that maybe they put out some more cases, some expansions, stuff like that, because I'm really dreading, eating up these 10 cases that come in here, because then that's kind of it. It's much worse than just finishing a good book, because it's just like this. It's kind of, there's nothing else really like this. I hear that there's a fan-made game called Arkham Mystery, I think it might be called, which is using the same kind of system as this, but putting it in Lovecraft's universe. So I'll try to look into that once I'm done with this. But yeah, for now, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective might be hard to find. They're working on reprinting it all over the place, but might be hard to find. But if you do see it, grab it. Number 4, cooperative now, Sentinels of the Multiverse. Okay, so at some point in this board manging lifespan, I may do like a top 5 or something like that, cooperative games. I imagine this will be pretty high up there, because I've played a number of co-op games, including, stuff like Eldritch Horror and Pandemic, and nothing really compares to the cooperation that Sentinels of the Multiverse gives. And it's awesome because, well, for 2 reasons. One is the theme. You really feel like superheroes when you're playing Sentinels. Most of the superheroes that the game offers are based on, our kind of real-world analogs. There's a Superman, there's a Flash, there's kind of an Iron Man, there's a Hulk, stuff like that. And so they put their own kind of twists on it, and it's in their own universe and stuff like that. But you still feel like superheroes, cooperating, and, the epic kind of powers that all these, and each hero and each villain has their own twists and each ability, and you really feel like, when you survive and you beat down the villain, which is, the skin on your teeth left, it's really incredible feeling. And the other reason it excels is because of, my problem with a lot of cooperative games is the quarterbacking, because I get kind of caught into that role where I be the most vocal and I know how to play the most, so I'm just like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, and a lot of cooperative games suffer from that. One of the reasons why I don't really love Pandemic. Sentinels, I do not suffer that issue really at all. I mean, yeah, I'm the guy that's kind of taking care of the villain and flipping over the villain cards and the environment cards and stuff like that, and keeping track of a lot of stuff, and I'm asking, okay, what can you do and what can you do? But I'm asking, what can you do? And I don't know what that player's cards are. I don't know what he's got going on with his setup and things like that. He's the one that's telling me, okay, I can do this. I can do 5 points of damage here. I can heal this. I can make us draw cards. And what do you want? What should we do? And stuff like that. And we're all kind of conversing, trying to overcome this singular threat. And we're working as a team. And so yeah, one player might be like the Captain America that's kind of trying to keep it all together, but each player and each character offers their own contributions to the effort. And so Sentinels is just a great co-op game. It's not the lightest of co-op games. There's a lot of reading involved, and everybody kind of needs to know how their setup works and what they can offer. So I wouldn't offer it as a gateway cooperative game, but if you're a group of a bit more harder gamers, you're looking for a cooperative experience, it's really hard to beat Sentinels with a lot of expansions as well. So that is number 4. Number 3, Android Netrunner. Admittedly, this is probably one of the games I've played the least on this top 10 list, but that still did not prevent it from being on this list, did not prevent it from me falling in love with it. My only real issue is getting people to play it with me. Netrunner is a 2-player living card game from Fantasy Flight Games. And the theme is really one of the main draw points for me. The theme is kind of, it's cyberpunk. So think Blade Runner, think Shadowrun, think that kind of futuristic, neon technology everywhere, blowing out your butt technology, and it's just the mega corporations and the little hackers and stuff like that. And so one player is going to play the mega corporation, the one that, you know, lords over the little people and is setting up all their servers and trying to, you know, take advantage of everybody and just make money and so on and so forth. And then the other player is playing the runner, the hacker, the small guy who's just trying to infiltrate the system, bring down the man, you know. And so what that really means, as far from all the, you know, the theme and whatnot, is asymmetric gameplay. So you have two sides, and unlike a lot of card games, the two sides are very, very different. They might try to both be kind of accomplishing the same goal, but the way they do it is completely 180 degrees different. The mega corporation is trying to build up their servers and protect their assets from the runner, and so he's got completely different types of cards that's going on, whereas the runner is trying to, you know, build up his little setup so he can make these runs, these hacking jobs on the servers and try to steal information. And so it's completely different, and the theme is part of why I love it, but the mechanics are so awesome. I really love this game. I wish I had some people that just were hardcore into it like me, because the number of card options that this game offers at this point in time is immense. There's so many different types of decks you can play, and it's just, yeah, if I want a two-player card game, there is nothing that I would rather play than Android Netrunner at this point. So yeah, I definitely recommend it, but also, like X-Wing, money can be an issue, because there are a lot of little data packs and expansions that you're going to want to buy, because the cards are so cool. Yeah, so Android Netrunner, number 3. Okay, number 2, I think is no, it's not the oldest game. I think Sherlock Holmes is a little bit older, but close to the oldest game on this list is Chinatown from 1999. This is for 3 to 5 players. And Chinatown is another game that I heard about from the Shut Up and Sit Down guys. This is a negotiation game in the purest sense of the term. You're going to get a few lots in which you want to build shops, and you're going to get a few shop tiles, but it's probably not going to be what you want. And you're going to be looking at your friends, and you're going to be like, oh, they have some open lots that I want, and oh man, he's got that takeout that I really want. What do? Oh, I know, we trade. And we trade a lot. You can trade a lot of things in this game. You can trade money, you can trade lots, you can trade shops, you can trade, you know, buildings that have already been established. You can trade $5 in real money if you want. You can trade that last slice of pizza if you want. You can trade whatever you want. You can trade your mother if you really wanted to. I don't recommend that, because you're probably not somebody I want to game with, but, well, I guess that depends on your mother. But Chinatown is really just an incredible experience for our gaming group, because of that negotiation, where it's just really like, you know, it's a social game, you know, and it's really kind of just a completely different design than the Eurogame world, where, you know, you have stuff like Carcassonne or, you know, Ticket to Ride and stuff like that, and I just find those games really kind of dry, and it's just like there's no real conversation going on, and then Chinatown swoops in to save the day. Oh, because it's all talking, it's all how can you convince this person that, oh, this deal is really, it's beneficial for both of us, and really you kind of win out more than I do, so you should make this trade. And it's just like, and then afterwards they're thinking like, I don't think this really was good at all, and it's just like, oh well, and oh man, incredible game. I really desperately wish they came out with an expansion for this to just add more shops, add, you know, another player or something like that. Oh, desperately in need of an expansion, but by itself, this should be in your collection. It really should. Not even that difficult of a game to grasp, because mostly it's just talking. So it can work with new players, it can work with experienced gamers. Great game to whip out if you just want to do some talking and some dealing, some wheeling and dealing. Great game, Chinatown. Alright, finally, number 1. If you've been following any of my board manging or any other videos that I've been doing where I've talked about board games, you probably know what's coming here for my number 1. I'll give you 1 second to guess. Okay. Number 1 is Cosmic Encounter. Specifically the Fantasy Flight Games version, because that's the only one I've played. Cosmic Encounter is a game for 3 to 5 players, up to 8 with all the expansions, from 1977 originally, I believe. And Cosmic Encounter, actually, that would make this the oldest game I have in the top 10. But this version is from 2007, I think. 2008. And Cosmic Encounter has stood the test of time because it offers game design unlike really anything else. There's nothing that compares to this in my collection, or really anybody's collection. Cosmic Encounter, it's like it says on the box, a game of infinite possibilities. That's really what it is. People have done calculations, and just based on the base game with its 50 aliens, however many aliens come in this, people have done calculations where basically, even if you played this game every day of your life for the rest of your life with 5 people, you'd probably never experience the same game twice. It's mathematical impossibility, something like that. And then you add in all the expansions that each add 20-some aliens every time. Total account in this box, there's like 160 aliens, some crazy number of that. And it's just like, it's incomparable. There's nothing like this. So, yeah, the variety is one thing, but then the game itself is where it really shines, though. The mechanics of it, where the mechanics are dead simple, like almost boring by themselves. But then you add in all the variety, the aliens and the special artifacts, the flares, all these different cards, and all the extra stuff that I haven't even dealt with yet. The tech and the space stations and all that kind of stuff. You know, all the different kind of things. It's just, oh man, nothing compares to Cosmic Encounter. This is a game that should be. It should be in every home. This should be the Monopoly of the world, is what it should be. It is a crime that this is not more popular. Monopoly, Life, Risk, Trouble, these games have nothing on Cosmic Encounter. That's a joke. I don't know why this game is not more popular. Perhaps it's the theme. Perhaps people see, oh, you know, it's got this kind of weird alien on that, and it's just, I don't know. Monopoly, everybody gets, it's about money, and okay, but no. Buy Cosmic Encounter. I think they're right in the middle. They're working on a reprint right now. But when it gets reprinted, buy it. Oh, man. I can't stress enough. I will play Cosmic Encounter anytime, any day, whatever you want. I'll play it because I always know it's going to be a unique experience. I always know I'm going to have fun. Even if you get dealt shit cards, you don't like your alien, you can make it work, you can make it fun if you know what you're doing, and it's always going to be a unique experience. That's it. You know, I can play X-Wing, and it might not be a unique experience. It might be, you know, okay, I'm getting shit on, and it's just kind of like, oh well. Cosmic, it's always going to be unique. Buy Cosmic Encounter. It's my number 1. I imagine it's going to be my number 1 for quite a while. It's going to be real tough to beat this because it combines everything that I love about gaming. It combines everything I love about having friends and family. It combines everything I love about life. That might be a bit too much, but it is a hell of a board game. Quite unlikely it would be beaten. You should have it in your collection. You should. So, okay. Cosmic Encounter, number 1. Alright, so that is my top 10 board games of all time. Again, all time is kind of a strange term here because I've only been gaming for like 5 months or something like that. So, it's likely that this will change next year somewhat. I can see, you know, one night being replaced by something a bit more involved or something like that. Some of the things switching around. Maybe, you know, Mage Knight might fall to 9 or, you know, stuff like that. Or, you know, new games that have come out or coming out, or games that I haven't even tried yet. Games that I own that I haven't even played yet. Who knows, you know, stuff like that. But we're going to set this as a baseline and we'll see where it goes. You know, I'm not saying that you should just rush out and if you're looking into board games, just buy all 10 of these because Mang says so. No, do plenty of your own research. You know, find out what you are into, find out what you like. There are plenty of top 10, top 100, top whatever lists out there to look at. And if you discover that your interest in board gaming and what you like is kind of aligned with mine, then you might not be unhappy with these 10 in your collection. But, you know, do your own research, find out what you and your group like. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this video. I'm not promising a board manging video for each one of these games. There will probably be one for Cosmic. I imagine there'll be one for Chinatown at some point. I'd love to make one for Netrunner, but I don't know how that would... It might be a bit complicated. We'll see. But Mage Knight will probably be featured as a solo series at some point where I play through it. If I really want to attempt that, we'll see. But, alright, that's the top 10 list. My name is Mang. I'll see you fine folks next time.